saw your invite. I wanted one as well, but obviously I sneaked into the codnext event and was finally here, finally able to see the alpha. But hey, since we're here, taking a look at what's going to happen here on the right side of your screen. You're taking a look at the map, and it's exactly what we saw in Warzone.
Totally, and it's getting to one of those end crunch periods. This is my favorite. The circle started to close, not yet final circle, but it's definitely that time. You got to be a little bit strategic and smart about your choices. There is a penalty if you get a little bit too aggressive.
And now, speaking of being aggressive, it's like we were talking about it. It's really a matter of where you drop, because obviously the tier 5 loot zones, the tier 4 loot zones, you'll always have that risk, but obviously the reward is a little bit more high. I mean, especially if you're going to be dropping at the very ends of the map, at the very end sections of it, where, yes, you might not have better loot, but you might have a better time not really looking for those kills. But the best thing here is you need to find that middle ground in every BR game that you have. For here, cash is king. You need to buy out, go and find a way to buy your fallen teammates, who we've already talked about it before, or maybe even meet them in the gulag later on. I'm really hoping to see a gulag feature over here. I want to see it.
Me too, and looking at the mini-map here, there were just quite a few red dots around. Something tells me we're going to see the gulag pretty soon.
And now we're talking about the weapons that they have over here. Obviously, it's something that we've seen already. The Fennec, I feel like it's going to be a really good gun. And speaking of, there you go, gets one. So that's a really good start for him. So hard up. We can see Bobby Blaze. I mean, it's just like Bobby Blaze has been such a tremendous name here in the mobile scene, and now he needs to get out, because he's going to be in big trouble, especially going out here with no cover whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't know. He's living dangerously. I don't know, Bobby. I'm worried for you, man.
Yeah, Bobby and Hawks, they need to find a way to, just get some cover. There you go, finds one. Gets the kill, and that's going to be really good for them so far. So, again, so far so good, and I'm really looking forward to kind of just talking to the guys later on after this gameplay, right? I feel like they have a lot to say.
Me too. Super curious to hear. Also curious to hear how this interaction here ends. I want to go back to one thing you were saying earlier with the loadouts. One of the things for me that I just absolutely love about Warzone is being able to have this little in-game economy and the strategic choices that happen as a result. Sometimes I want to get my own loadout. Sometimes, no, I'm all about buying a new score streak, leveling up, helping my squad that way. There's a really nice element of strategic choice, and it's ones that we know players in Warzone 1.0 on console and PC, they just absolutely loved. And, in mobile, there's really nothing quite like it. So just can't wait for players to get their hands on that.
Oh, most definitely, because I had my hands on it yesterday. I'm not very good at it, and that's why I'm being a shoutcaster. I'm just kidding. But really just playing the game and playing Warzone in general, it feels as if you're playing the same thing on console and PC. And so that's such a huge deal, especially since you're putting it in such a tiny device, tiny but powerful device, and to have the same thing here. Not only that, it has its unique aspects as well. I think we've already mentioned it before. Mobile, yes, even though you already have it, Warzone is here, it has its unique features.
Big time. And when we started making the game, we listed out all these options. We could make something that was totally not connected. It was its own mobile experience, no connective tissue to Call of Duty console or PC. And on the other end of the spectrum, we could do an exact port, something that felt exactly the same, had same experience, same economy, same everything else. What we decided in the end was, there are different principles that we want to achieve. We want to make sure on the core game, so here, the moment-to-moment gameplay, it feels just as good as Call of Duty console, because really, for us, that's the best shooter in the world. So we want to make sure that we're rendering that properly on mobile. We just think there's nothing better. At the same time, for mobile players, there's certain customizations that are really important. Sometimes on the event side, or what we call internally the live ops side, but also just on the controls. So we want to make sure we're taking those best of both worlds and adding them together into an experience that just feels like nothing else on mobile. We think we're on the right track.
Yeah, well, speaking on the right track, Noah from YouTube getting these kills already, and it's our first time seeing him right now. So, again, where he's at, it's going to be a prime spot, because it's not going to be too crowded, as you can see here, but you can also get really good loot. So that is definitely one thing that you want to have. And now for him spoiting all of these, I can see the movement is very much like Warzone. I feel like for me, that was one of the bigger questions. It's like, what's the movement going to be like? And you can see here, it's good. He's done. He's already kind of felt the game pretty right to the fact that he can get a lot of these kills. And so how was it like trying to transform into the movement coming in from Warzone, going in here to Warzone Mobile?
That's a great point. We thought movement, that's one of those things. Movement and really the whole combat experience, it's something that we just felt like we don't want to mess with it too much. It's so special. It's what makes Call of Duty Call of Duty. So for us, it's about rendering that in the right kind of way. And again, not totally there, but man, we're pretty happy with where we are at this alpha stage in the development process.
I'm just so excited to see every one of these streamers just battle it out, especially